Hello. All right, are we live? All right, are we live? Here we go. Let's see. Hey, Reg. Hey, A3 Sky Warrior. I'm just trying to figure out how this thing goes. Let's see here. I'm trying to figure out how to do this live stuff and this premiere stuff, so I can start going live. Sorry there wasn't a video last week. I had a lot of health issues and some med issues going on. Should be better this week. My goal for this week is to get my 2K Gold Huck Gall prize from Mike Vendetta classified, and we're going to run it next week. I'm going to try to do it live if possible on Saturday. If it's nice outside anyway. If not, I'll just do it in my living room, and my wife will just have to yell at me. So, yeah, I just wanted to kind of see how this thing worked and try to get a handle on all the buttons and things I got to do, and you know. Three people watching. Yep, he warned me in an email afterwards. He said there's a lot of very, very fine gold in here. So that's why I'm going to pull out my Desert Fox spiral wheel, and I'm going to try to classify it all the way down as low as I possibly can, so I can run that spiral wheel and catch that real fine gold. Then I'm going to run, of course, my toolbox sluice and maybe even my Adventure Time sluice as well. So it should be a fairly good show. I might even just use my big sluice instead of using those other two, and just use the big sluice, and then also use the Desert Fox. Yeah, he told me there's a bunch of black sand in it. I'll be going to Eastern Kentucky here in a couple of weeks to spend a week or two with my dad, so my sister can go see her grandbaby. I'm going to try and get out on the river down there and grab some pay dirt. If I might actually run some on the river and see if I can actually find any, and if so, I'll bring some back here, pan it out live. My dad says there's no gold in Eastern Kentucky, but we're on the western slope of the Appalachians, so there should be. Wow, that's a lot of black sand, Reg. Jeez. How long did it take you to go through it? I heard that Flower Gold Wizards has a killer bag of pretty much black sand and a little bit of gold. You guys had ice today, Sky Warrior? We're sitting at 60 degrees here today. I've not got any of them yet, Reg. I plan to, though. Yeah, the ice storm skipped us. We got a little smidgen of snow and rain mostly. I think the ice all went south of us and then it went on an angle up towards you guys. Who keeps jumping in that my Discord? Oh, Chad. I don't know if I'll ever do a Patreon. I'm not really in this for the money. It's just fun and a way for me to sit and talk to people without, having to be around people. I don't like people. I like people fine. I just don't like being out around them. Yeah, I get that, Sky Warrior. You can see my nice laser sitting over there with all the stuff packed around it, so I can't even freaking use it. That's what happens when you get a lot of this equipment. You just get it sitting here and it never gets worked. And that's going to be one of my next projects, is learn how to use my laser so I can do some little projects with it and send out to people. By the way, I got my channel sticker. I think I told you guys this last week. If y'all want one, just let me know. Shoot me your address. I got my email addresses up in my about on my page. I can get them out to you. I'm kind of boring. If anyone wants to jump in here live, it'd be awesome. So I can figure out how that works too. Let me see if I can get the invite thing up here. Hey Josh, how you doing? That's a good idea. Because everything I do is out of my own pocket because we don't have a whole lot of gold here that I know of. I plan on going and doing some prospecting on the Missouri River here shortly. There should be some in the Missouri River. It's right here next to Columbia. If you guys want to hop up here with me and chit chat, that's cool. We can do that. Make this live go a little longer than what I planned. I just wanted to see how this StreamYard worked. Anybody up there? Let's see. Let's see. Private chat. Broadcast. I got that. Cool. Well, guys, I think I figured this thing out. So next Sunday, or next Saturday, I'm sorry, about 4, I think I said 2:30. At 2:30, I plan on having a live. Hey, Sky Warrior, I want some of that candy. It's been a long time since I had any bee candy. Here in Columbia, I'm not able to keep bees because I rent here, but I miss having my bees. Hey, A&M Prospecting. Yeah, Sky Warrior, I think I need to get a bottle of your honey pay dirt. I've seen a couple of videos on it, and I got to try that. Hold on a second, I got to check something, guys. Hey, Josh, you get your sticker yet? Yeah. All right, Sky Warrior. I'll try to get one of your giveaways. Yeah, I've seen a couple of videos with your honey pay dirt, and I really want to try some of it. USPS is slower than molasses in a winter day. Uh, there's a reason they call that snail mail. I personally don't understand how the United States Postal Service is still in business. And they claim to be a quasi-government agency, but they're federally funded, and they still have to keep raising the price of our stamps every single year. Hey, PA Patriot, how you doing? Just saw you a minute ago. Why don't you hop up here with me if you want to? Repost that. There's got to be a way I can just post this invite and leave it up here. Yes, A&M, I'll be happy to do that. I'll get this out to you. As soon as I get an address, I'll get your email, send you an email. We'll trade addresses, and I'll get one out to you. I've got one going out to Nebo tomorrow as well, so I'll try to get that out to you tomorrow. All righty, Skywalker, that's cool. Sky Warrior. Hey, Zaxxon. I could put myself in timeout. That's awesome. I did that. I don't know what that does though. Does it pin it? I think so. Do it there. There we go. Yeah, I know, guys. That picture of me is awfully old. That's when I was young and still full of piss and vinegar.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to, as you can see, I'm trying to make a mess here with this honey candy.
Yeah. It's been so long since I had any honey candy because I can't have bees here. You know?
You said you used to have bees, right?
I used to keep a lot of bees. We used to have, I think, 20 or 25 hives. So.
Yeah, I've only got 3 left now. I lost 2 of mine off and on with the extreme cold we've had here up north of you.
Yeah. Yep. We went to Russian bees for a while because they were just a lot more cold hardy, but they're damn mean. Yeah. They're meaner than hell.
Yeah, they are.
It don't matter if you're the nicest person in the world.
Yeah, I mostly have honey. I mostly have. I can't think right now. The Italians, honey bees.
Yeah, the Italians.
Carnolas or something like that.
Yeah, Carnolia.
Those are nice and sweet. I just wear gloves, go in there and do my thing.
Yeah.
Then I got I caught a swarm this mid-year and it was up in the tree. Usually I just go up there and find the queen and then shake them off the tree or whatever, and and they go and march in the hive. But these son of a guns, they lit me up. I even put my gear on and stuff because I didn't know these bees, and it wasn't from one of my hives. Yeah. Oh, they did. I went and opened my thing at my hood up so I can go and grab my phone, and I gave it to my wife to go and take a video.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I forgot to zip it back. Plus, normally I don't get stung at all. So I had like flip-flops on or something. Oh my goodness. I got lit up so bad. They're like flying around my face, and I must have had like 20 stings on my ankles. And had to work that night.
Yeah. I got stung at least once a year from the Russians. The Italians and Carnolians. Well, I've got a video up there of me playing with my Carnolians. Me in shorts and short sleeves and just with my hood on.
I usually put the hood on and gloves just so, in case they get around, get in my ear or something,
Yeah. I always wore my hood. But, I love the bees. I can't have them right here where I'm at right now. This particular landlord said no. I said, okay.
Well, yeah, because there's, then they're going to blame you when there could be a bee from natural, down the road or something,
Yeah. When I first moved here to Columbia, they had a prohibition against bees in beekeeping in your yard inside city limits. And I went out to the local bee club and talked to them. And they said, well, yeah, most of us live outside the city limits because of that rule. I went down to the council one night and I just wanted to talk. And I said, what is your problem with bees being kept in the city? And they said, because they sting people. And I said, well, would you rather have bees that nobody's managing out here stinging people because they're here anyway? Or would you, I said, the guys who live out here outside the county, or outside in the county, their bees are eating in my backyard. And I live in the city. What's the problem? They're like, well, what about your neighbors? I said, what about my neighbors? Don't go messing with my hive. So they changed the ordinance so then that landlord let me have bees in the backyard. Because I was right on a ravine. There was nobody behind me. It was awesome. that's where a lot of those videos I have came from that place, that one hive I had there. But in Kentucky, we had like 25 hives. So.
Yeah, I don't really have the time for it. I got a small farm and I'm still working, so I really don't have the time right now.
Yeah.
Like, actually, two of my swarms were actually because I let them swarm because I didn't have them. I was so busy I didn't get in there in time to keep them from swarming.
Yeah.
And I knew, exactly when. Okay, this was light and they're up in the tree, and also that's my spot I put on them, so. Yeah, not a big operation, just another hobby of mine, along with gold and metal detecting, woodworking, freaking everything in the world,
Woodworking. I've got a Devil Forge where I melt cans and copper and everything else. I keep saying I want to do something artistic with it, but I just keep melting. I figure one of these days I'll have enough and I'll start making stuff with it, little coins or something like that. And then I want to get into the other part that Mike's get into, which is the refining, of gold and silver and stuff like that. Because nothing beats that stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh, there was I got the same thing from Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the Marine Corps was throwing away a freaking brand new oven, like Mike has. They were just throwing away. There was no DMO up there, upstate New York, so they were just going to throw it out. And what the heck am I going to do with it? I was moving again. I was living in an apartment at that time, and my family's down in Florida, and it was like, oh, I wish I would have grabbed that though.
No kidding.
So, a brand new oven.
Those things are not cheap
for melting.
Yeah, those things are not cheap.
And it went in the garbage. It was crazy. It went in the scrap.
Really?
It went in the freaking scrap. Sad, but that's the government for you.
Yeah. Well, $20,000 toilet seats, $1,000 hammers. No big deal.
I always wanted to get with Air Force guys with the B-52s to get one of those fancy toilet seats.
Yeah. I never got to go on the B-52, but I heard about them. Like, I had a lot of friends who were pilots, and they were just like, he said, it's just a toilet seat, but they're $20,000 a piece.
But it's special for that aircraft.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah, I got so many stories. It's crazy. I even stole gas from the Air Force before and another naval aircraft. Stole parts from other aircraft back in the Cold War. Didn't have money or didn't have the funding. You did what you got to do to make your mission.
And that's the thing is people don't understand that. It ain't like it is nowadays where they just give the military money. We didn't have money back then. If you had something for
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember.
I can't believe they're giving over. Well, I'm not going to get political about this this junk that's going on now.
I remember
being. But it's crazy how they're throwing away money now.
Yeah. I remember being out at Camp Bullis and having my M60 jam up on me, and I jerked that yoke off, pulled off the butt plate, and shoved a stick where that little pin goes in the back of the buffer.
Yeah.
Because the pin broke, and I slammed it shut and continued firing. We were right in the middle of an exercise. I couldn't stop. I was a 60 gunner.
And plus, you got if you didn't use that ammo up, then you want to get it the next year or the next month.
Yeah. I remember my CO coming over to me and he said, "What'd you stop firing for?" And I said, "Well, I had to fix my buffer." And he was like, "What'd you do?" And I said, "Stuck a stick in it." I said, "Y'all give me a replacement for not for the buffer stuff." Oh, God. Yeah, I can remember. Beg, borrow, and steal to get what you need.
Oh, yeah. I used to go and we had this young gal working at the coffee mess.
Yeah.
And so I'm going like, hey, I need you to go over and talk to this guy from this, the watchstander that's patrolling his aircraft.
Yeah.
I need you to go in and see if you can get a cup of coffee with him. He's like, I don't know that guy. What are you talking about? I'm like, here's some money. Go get some coffee with this guy and just bullshit, BS with this guy for a while. He goes like, okay, I got what you're saying.
Yeah.
She took him out and took the watchstander out, and I went and stole some stuff from the aircraft.
Jeez.
So then they had 2 watches. That poor guys. Oh, the Air Force, I used to steal from all. I got in so much trouble stealing from the Air Force.
Mm-hmm.
They gave us a crew van that was burning oil so bad. It was junk. It was actually from DRMO.
Yeah.
It was burning oil so bad they wouldn't give us the vehicle. And they wouldn't give us oil to put in the vehicle. So what I did, I started putting, our waste turbine oil in there, which is really light. And it started smoking so bad. So I'm like, and I went over there and tried to steal their oil, and they caught me. I got caught up on the damn fence. So what I did was they're like, they went and talked to my chief and officers and stuff, and I didn't get in no trouble.
Yeah.
So I'll fix this. I took that van in front of base housing, and then in front of, I went back and forth from the commanding officer's window, back and forth. You couldn't see nothing, and I had to stop a few times and throw more oil in there, go back and forth. Hey, next thing you know, I come back and there's a case of oil on the desk for me.
Yep. Registered military is notorious for throwing away money. I wish they'd throw some of that my way too.
Oh, it was. I mean,
you know what I used to hate though? They always freaking solved that around basic fraud, waste, and abuse. Fraud, waste, and abuse is like $20,000 toilet seat. Fraud, waste, and abuse. So
yeah, then they get mad at like you got a piece of sport equipment or something, and you got to make sure you turn it in and everything else, so they get their money back from it. Oh, it just so crazy. I mean, there wasn't that much because the Navy, they spent all their money on ships and they don't got money for nothing else. Yeah. So we always, not really throwing anything away or anything, but then again, defense contractors.
Yeah. We're just here shooting the shit. I was trying to see how this live stuff works so I could get ready to do one next week. I'm going to work your 2K, 2K Huck golf prize you sent me next week.
Well, David, I'm going to cut out the live stream and I'll be in there. I'm going to finish this up and do some other things. I'll try to come in next week too if you have it.
That'll work.
Next Saturday, right?
Yep, next Saturday at 2:30.
All right, nice seeing you, David.
Central time.
Central, yeah, it's Eastern. Yeah, it's Indiana. They do what they want.
I know Indiana. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
Yeah, Indiana's all Eastern. The whole state's Eastern.
Is it? I know they don't play with the whole daylight savings time thing, do they?
Oh yeah, they're still stuck in that stupid thing.
Yeah. So my niece lives up there, just north or just outside of Terre Haute, and I was talking to her about coming up there, and Brian said, "Well, hell, if you come up there, come on up, and we'll go out to the creek." Yeah, around me, there's really no gold because it's nothing but sand. Yeah.
But down in southern Indiana, there's some gold there.
Yeah.
Not huge amounts like out west, but there's a little bit of gold. Brian and I get a little in the creek.
It's supposed to be a lot of silver though toward eastern Indiana, southeast.
There's actually there's all these myths or stories about Indians having silver mines in southern Indiana too. And I haven't tried it yet, but some of the stuff I do find might have a little bit of silver in it.
Yeah.
And I haven't done the test on them yet.
Yeah.
That's something else I need to get into.
Yeah, I was just doing some research and seeing where stuff was, and apparently we're toward southeastern Indiana. There's a old mine up there, an old ghost town, and they said they never got all the silver out of it. I don't know.
Probably not the heavier ore, that they can get. But I'm sure there's a lot of that you actually have to, work it down and then use chemicals. I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I don't find enough of it that I can really mess with it yet.
Yeah.
Plus, I only go down there to see Brian for a couple hours at a time, and by time, I'm trying to find fossils and find a little gold and this and that, and by that time it's time to leave already, so I don't really find that much.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'll go back on.
All right.
I'll go back on there, but nice seeing you. Chat more later.
Nice seeing you. Yeah, Luke says there's no gold in Indiana. Well, let's see. All gold is fake unless thoroughly tested by a not so reputable source. Oh, Lord. A guy in Barstow, Colorado, they got that new kind of gold out there now, from what I hear, magnetic gold. I don't know how they're getting it, but Hey, Luke. Yeah, I spent the afternoon on PA Patriots afternoon live thing, and I got the idea of trying this out for myself so I can see if I can do a live. So I think I'm going to do that next week. No gold in Indiana or Arizona. Yep, that's true. What's what cord? This cord? It's my microphone. You gotta have some really, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I got some really good paint to make that stuff. Gold and that magnetic gold. What's that cord? The only cord. This cord? No, it ain't a cord. There's a cord back there. Oh, card. See, I can't even see my own thing. These are cards I got from you last year. Actually, yeah, last year, earlier this year. I'm not sure. It says 2022. So yeah, last year. I just held on to them. I don't think I even saw the show where you gave away the stuff on it. Let's see. Christmas call last year, and some other one. Both of them from last year. Yeah, I'm on StreamYard. Let me post the link up here again. There we go. You know, Josh, my wife and I are talking about moving to Arizona, New Mexico, or Texas, one of the three. I'm completely retired now, so she wants to get me down where it's warmer and my feet won't hurt so much and my hips won't hurt so much. Um, and I'm kind of tied in my mind between the three. Um, Texas, I love Texas, but down where I've got property is so bad right now with crime that you can't hardly be down there. It's around El Paso. Um, New Mexico, honestly, I don't know a lot about New Mexico. I know that they give free property tax to veterans with disabilities. New Mexico's got gold. At least they say they do. If I go to Arizona, I'll be down there around Mike and Doug. I'm sure they can give me some pointers. Well, and I believe you're right, Zaxon. When I first got out of the military, I was offered a position at Sandia down around White Sands, and I couldn't bear to go there. So I don't know if I want to live there. So I mean, I'm looking at Arizona because of low humidity. That's why it hurts my feet so much, is when it gets cold and damp. I've got a metal rod that basically, I want to say basically holds my foot on because I crushed every bone in the ankle. So I get serious pain when it gets cold and damp here in Missouri. And I thought about going to Kentucky and just taking over the farm from my dad, but their weather's the same as here. And they have the rainy season up in the mountains over there. So I got to go somewhere southwest. Where are you in Texas, Josh? I know you sent me your address, but I don't know off the top of my head. Oh, you're not in Texas. I just know this, Sky Warrior. When I was in San Antonio, so I lived in San Antonio and lived in Houston when I got out of the military. San Antonio is like a bowl, and it sucks all the humidity up from Corpus Christi, drops it right in that bowl, and then you get 100 degrees on top of that humidity, and you want what they call black flag days, where you can't even go outside. Houston was okay though. So is there a limit to the amount of time I can do a live for? No, sometimes people are always looking at the clock. Can I just keep going as long as I want to? See, that's the thing that scares me about Arizona, is the fact that you're relying on water from the Colorado River, and I worry about that situation. Yeah, Black Flag days are no fun. Oh, okay, Zach. 'Cause I remember those days we weren't allowed to do anything, no exercise. They didn't want you even walking to the darn PX. They wanted you to stay indoors. You got 90% humidity and 110 degrees outside, heat index of 130. It's oppressive. Houston wasn't bad because it's right there on the Gulf. We had a lot of the Gulf winds coming up. But Houston's so damn far away from anything. Let's want to go over with Bayou Go guy. He's pretty close, relatively. Holy crap. See, Reg, I couldn't live between those two lakes. In Missouri, we typically top out about 60% humidity when there's a real good pull of the moisture from the Gulf coming up here. But I don't usually last very long. Out of a train windshield. But is she an engineer? Well, that's why I need to come down to Arizona, I think, because I've got to have a place with low humidity. I can deal with the heat. The heat's not a problem. Hell, we lived in Vegas when I was teaching school back in the early 2000s, and it wasn't bad there because there was no humidity. It just said dry heat. When it did get humid, then you had a problem. Well, I guess if China can fly a balloon over us, somebody can hack into the rail services cameras. I can imagine that would be really relaxing. All right, Sky Warrior, I'll talk to you later, man. I can see that, Reg. And that causes probably a crap ton of fog and humidity for you. And I see the lake effect snowfalls up there in the wintertime. All right, guys, I think I'm going to cut this thing off. Like I said, it's going to be a little quick one just to see how everything worked. I will be on next Saturday, 2:30 Central Time. We're going to classify, sluice, and use my Desert Fox on Mike's dirt. See if we can recover all that gold. You guys have a great afternoon, good week. Well, I guess it's Sunday already, so I can't say good weekend. Weekend's gone. Have a good week at work, and I shall see you guys on Saturday.